Right, Peter Wright joins the show. Right, Pete?
How we doing?
Go on, Pete.
Yeah, really appreciate you coming on, Pete. Obviously, it's massive, this tournament. Love it every year. Comes around. You've played tonight. How did you rate your performance?
What do you think the performance was? It was terrible, but, you know, I got away with it. You know, I'm disappointed for my fans and everything, the way I played. But, you know, at least I'm through, you know, until after Christmas now.
Pete, I can tell how disappointed you are in your performance, and sometimes it's about getting the job done, which you've done. What was the part of your game that you feel let you down the most?
All of it.
Right.
I didn't hit trebles, I didn't hit doubles. What do you think? I
saw you a couple of 180s though.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I just struggled. I don't know why. The practice was going fantastic for the past week. You know, I felt actually better than I did when I won the Worlds for the first time ever. That's where my mindset was, and it's weird. I can't explain it. But, you know, at least I'm improved, and I can only improve now and get it right for the next round.
Pete, got to ask you, obviously the Ali Pali crowd, everyone's been talking about the last 24 hours. The atmosphere has been electric. How good is it to be a part of that?
It's totally fantastic. You know, it was them. You know, I had an interview earlier with Abby on stage, and it was them guys who got me through. You know, they're fed up with seeing me playing rubbish, and you know, they all got behind me, and so you know, it's, you know, you don't want to let them down, and you don't want to let yourself down. So, you know, they're fantastic, and they all come out here, enjoy themselves, fancy dress, you know, and yeah, it's great for darts.
Championship with Village Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out and play this festive season at one of 33 cracking UK locations. What a great performance that was from Robert Owen just now. 6 sets of drama, and when it was 2-2, Robert found the next 2 sets to not only progress to the last 16 of the championship for the first time in his second attempt, because he was here last year losing in the first round, but that has ensured that he has now saved his tour privileges for 2025, so maybe he can open his shoulders when he graces the hockey against Callum Rydz tomorrow. Speaking of him, he was rather impressive this afternoon in taking out Belgium's #1 player, Dimitri van den Berg. The UK Open champion could do nothing about the 105 average that Callum put in a 4-0 victory, and we caught up with Callum after that victory this afternoon.
I'm buzzing, you know, I don't know what to say. I'm over the moon. I didn't give Dimmy a chance to get into the game. I think from the first set, he went 180. I followed him with a 180. That settled me straight down. So I was a bag of nerve downstairs practicing. So I felt like it was going to be my night, you know, practicing downstairs.
I think you hit 5 180s in the opening 5 legs. It almost felt like you couldn't miss at the start.
Yeah, I mean, that's how sometimes I feel. Like, if I'm playing well, I know I can beat anyone, and that just proves it. Like, Dimmy's a world-class athlete. He's a major champion, you know, and that's the thing I want to be at.
There's always the risk he could come back, but you kept him at bay and you closed it out really well in the end.
It's like I've always said, you know, I think the third set when it went 2s each, I showed a lot of bottle. You know, it's like a lot of people say, if you go 2s each and you win them deciding legs, that's what decides a champion. And tonight, look, I haven't won the event. I've not won with 3 Pro Tours. I've not won a lot, but the bottle there was definitely short.
But you've shown now that's 2 averages over 105 that you've put up. You are showing that you've got the game at the minute to go and win this tournament.
Listen, I've got to take every year as a time. Look, if I have a world champion by the end of this tournament, absolutely happy days. But listen, we'll take every game as it comes.
He wants to take every game as it comes. That's exactly what you need to do. But so far in this tournament, one of 2 people in the last 16 from Bedlington, Northumberland, a bit of a darting hotbed that some of us know a lot about. But Rydz has played 10 sets. He has won 10 sets. He has averaged over 105 twice. And there are not many dart players who have done that in the same World Championship. Philip Douglas-Taylor, Michael van Gerwen, Luke Littler. It's a very exclusive list that also includes Callum Rydz and Gary Anderson. How about that, Chris Mason, who joins us right now?
Yeah, only 5 players in the history of the World Championships have achieved that. Listen, and it could have been higher. He could have been even in a more exclusive list, because, I mean, it ended with that 105 plus, but that was due down to the commentator's curse of yours truly, who remarked prior to that 24 dart leg that there had only been 4 legs in 15 darts and 10, 14 and under, and then in comes the 24 darter. My apologies. I did apologise to Callum personally. Anyway.
It's the day of the curse, because I was talking about bounce outs in that first match of the night. 1,210 darts without a bounce out for either player, and the second dart of the match was a bounce out. So there you go. Moving on, Callum is through to tomorrow afternoon session. We have the schedule now for our double session for the last day of the year. Kevin Doots will take on Chris Dobey in the first match of the day. It will be Rob Owen in game 2 of the afternoon, so a very quick turnaround.
That's harsh. I'm not sure about that. I mean, I know the scheduling's tough, but a guy that's been put through the ringer, he thinks he's got a card, then he hasn't. Then he beats Clemens, you think, yeah, he has. And then he had to beat Ricky Evans, a top 16 player by his own definition. And he's come through that one. So to have to play Callum Rydz second on tomorrow afternoon, I think that's harsh, because, listen, by the time he finishes his media duties and actually gets to wind down a bit with his family, he's probably looking at midnight.
Yeah, so he'll be back here something around 10 o'clock in the morning, if not a little bit earlier.
Yeah, earlier, I'd say.
They are the rigmaroles of playing a World Championship. But after that second game, it's Ricardo Pietreczko against Nathan Aspinall. And with all due respect to the first 2 games, I think Ricardo against Nathan is the game of the afternoon.
Agreed. I think that's a banger. I had it once where I beat Lloydie on last game on for example, a Tuesday night, and it was a late one as well. I don't think we got on till gone 10. By the time I actually got back to the hotel, it was 1:30 in the morning. By the time I finished partying after celebrating my success, I was actually on my way back to the venue to play John Parr, who'd had 4 or 5 days off. It was, it is what it is, I suppose, and the adrenaline will carry him through tomorrow. But for Robert Owen, I am absolutely chuffed to bits for him. He's a lovely lad who works hard, who grafts at his game. Yeah, and all credit to him. I am absolutely over the moon for him.
£35,000 richer, guaranteed, with a chance of £15,000 more tomorrow. You don't get that in usual careers, and who knows how far he could go. But tomorrow night from 7:30, live on talkSPORT 2, it will be Stephen Bunting against Luke Woodhouse, an all-English affair. Michael van Gerwen against Jeffrey de Graaf. He's having a very good tournament as well, just like Rob Owen. Then Littler against Joyce, probably the pick of the fixtures come the end of the year. Now, the last game of 2023 was Joe Cullen versus Luke Humphries, which went the distance, which was a bit of an alley-pally classic, to say the least. I wouldn't be surprised if that Littler-Joyce's one is the same.
I'm with you. The way that Littler takes so much time, it was probably 15, 20 minutes before he got going against Ian White. And when you find out that Luke really doesn't practice at all, he'll have a couple of throws before the bull-up and then a couple of throws before the match. And listen, if he thinks that works for him, and who am I to criticise, because look at his success. But it's obvious that he starts games, the final of the Players' Championships finals, he averaged 80 odd in the first 5 legs of that match, and that probably took, I don't know, 12 by the time they had their practice starts, and then the practice starts at the start of the next set. It wasn't until the middle of the next, well, they're not sets but sessions, he started to really move through the gears, and I think he should get himself sharper before the off. I don't know whether it's some kind of thing he's got in his head. Well, this is how I do it, and because it's worked before, it's going to. it's not, because anybody else against Ian White last night would have been in an absolute world of trouble.
Well, that's an all-English battle at the end of tomorrow's session.
But that is the game of the session, isn't it? I mean, Ryan Joyce is playing beautifully at the moment, and I can't wait to listen to that one.
Well, when it comes to this one that's coming up, it's all Welsh. We've just seen a Welshman going through to the last 16, but this is where the last 16 begins. And John McDonald is about to introduce Jonny the Ferret Clayton and Gezi Price.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Paddy Power World Dance Championship, brought to you by the Professional Dance Corporation. And now for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Both our players are from Wales, and would you firstly please welcome the winner of 3 Grand Slam titles, a World Grand Prix champion, the winner of 2 World Cups, and ladies and gentlemen, the former champion of the world, the Iceman, Gerwyn. Wright.
He's been introduced first.
Interesting point. He doesn't walk first in many matches because he's still a top 10 player, but he has slipped down the rankings since winning the World Championship in 2021 by about 9 spots. There's been a lot of chat about Premier League and Gezi Price for next year, but it's not about that. It's about bragging rights to see who is the best Welsh player today, and today only. Someone survives, someone doesn't.
Snooker at Sheffield and put off every opponent who's playing against the guy I want to win, and that, for me, that's not how it should be, but it's the price we pay. The winner's taken away £500,000 because of the people who are doing it, and that's it. It is what it is.
I don't think
Do
we
I
should
like it? Nope.
I don't think we should ignore the fact as well that in Price's career, which is involving his now 11th World Championship, he's been here ever since he turned pro. He has been in 5 last 16 matches, because that's the stage we're at now. This is officially the thick end of the stick. He has gone through the last 16 4 out of the 5 times. Fans or not, he's very good at this stage, and he sometimes kicks into a gear that people can't handle.
Yeah, and he's won 9 of their last 10 teams against Clayton. I like Pricey in this one. I've seen enough in that game against Cullen, and I think he reflected on that, and we both felt that he from 3-0 up, he played like he was behind and under pressure, and he's got to get back to that mentality of, when I've got you buried, you stay buried. I put some more earth on you.
Do you know why I picked Jonny Clayton to win this match before Dart was thrown in anger? Because I'm stubborn. Because I picked Jonny Clayton to win this quarter to make the semi-finals minimum. He's got the first maximum of the match. This could be one for the ages. You don't get many all-Welsh World Championship matches, but this could be a classic.
Yeah, there's not been many over the years, mate. But yeah, I'm with you. This could be absolutely everything. And Clayton, what a start. 2-1-80s in leg 1. Guess who backed the person to hit the most 180s? Yeah, it wasn't Clayton.
I'm not saying a word. 60 for Clayton, the number 7 seed. Price, the number 10 seed. Oh, that's a miss 20 from Clayton, which means he's only got 1 dart at tops.
20.
Misses
Could
it
be
high.
costly.
Gerwen, you acquire 85.
85 for Price, options. Treble 15's always an option on 85. Double top with 2. He's going to need double 10 with his last star, which he finds. An early yelp from the man with 1 star on his left sleeve, signifying that 2021 win against Gary Anderson in the final. Now, all Welsh World Championship matches at this venue date back to 2012, when Richie Burnett took on Mark Webster.
I remember that one.
That was about 5 days after Mark Webster had been in the Players' Championship final against Kevin Painter. That's what Webby said very evidently, because he thought he wasn't ready for that one, but sometimes the schedule, it can kick you in the behind. Now, what are you up to, Mr. Price? The price is very right.
Yeah, he knows that here, 9 as well. He's hit plenty of them.
He looks ice cold right now, ready to line his wallet by 60 bags, down for the 19s. Only gets 1, so pause on the possibility of a third 9-darter. It's a brilliant leg though. A bullseye and a treble 16 leave him on 24. He shows a little bit of an apology to the crowd. You're going to have to wait.
Interestingly, considering they all make his life a misery, well, 90% of them, I'd have gone.
99,
kill them with kindness,
yes.
Mr. Price, who has a 10-darter. And is he playing well in this set? Oh, you bet he is. 2-0, averaging 120. Who is he? Callum Rydz. Really good. The Iceman looks on it. Maybe more at the start of a match right here than he has at all tournament.
Well, I think you made a valid point, Nico, that he feels more comfortable because it is his pal. He knows there's going to be no shenanigans up there, and he knows whatever he does isn't going to offend or put off Jonny Clayton. It's just basically a shootout.
A proper shootout that has 5 maximums. Yes, that's right. 5 in 2.5 legs. If this continues, we're in for a dust-up.
85.
Well, this is the second time that Clayton and Price have met on this stage.
Yeah, 2017, wasn't it?
Yeah, Clayton won that one. Since then, Jamie Lewis against Clayton. That was in 2018, where Wales's Jamie Lewis made the semis. Lost out to Philip Douglas Taylor, his last win on this stage. Price then beat Lewis 3 years later to get his revenge, and now he's looking for his revenge against Clayton. He's got 170 with 6 darts to take the first set by 3 legs to 0.
50.
Yes, that's right, because Taylor beat him and then lost to Rob Cross in the final.
First year we were here with talkSPORT 2, doing darts on the radio.
99.
We haven't missed the championship since. Will Price miss the 120? He doesn't have to take it. Clayton's on 162. So 2 single 20s for Gerwyn.
60.
Halves his score. Doesn't like that because he knows he has to burn a dart to.
And it's potentially a blocker dart. Back comes Jonny Clayton. 130 to leave 32, so 20 and tops to seal the deal.
There's the 20. He will slide to the left to open up the tops bed. A bit too high on dart 1. And even higher on dart 3. That's a surprise. And with Jonny on 32 here, this set is very much alive if he takes this. Misses it just inside, so double 8. Too far to the left. And of course he hits it with dart 3. It's called the Ferret for a reason. He gets the job done eventually. And he gets that nickname from his rugby days, doesn't he?
Yep. Yeah, he used to ferret around in the scrum. Man with the hardest belly in darts. It is like a brick wall.
95.
Yeah, that will annoy Pricey, not making the adjustment on dart 2 or dart 3, but that led from the frustration of not hitting a ton on the 120 to have 3 clear darts at a target, because the dart he used effectively to burn to leave tops was just a blocker.
99.
I always say that when you're 2-0 up in a set, that's no guarantee of success. Make sure of the third. If you get a chance to win 3-0 and you don't take it, make sure that wakes you up to get the job done. Because someone like Clayton, he can come back and bite you, like he's doing right now from 307. With a 140, that's actually the first 140 of the match. The maximums have been so good.
Yeah, five 180s and just the 140. So Pricey from 303 on the 19s, 2 of them. 3 of them make that 171 to leave 132.
So that's his first 140 plus. 132 for Price as a guaranteed shot now. Clayton scores 97 courtesy of that treble 19 to leave 70. Looking at the ball, gets it. Is he staying there for another one? Oh, it's so close. He hit his own dart and it ricocheted into the 25.
I thought he was going to get that. Options. Treble 18. Gets it. Double 8 for a level set in set 1. Or it's way inside.
Now Price has nothing standing in his way of tops. 3 darts just above, but it's a beautiful marker. And used it to perfection. A brilliant first set from Gezi Price, averaging well north of 100. It could have been better, but he will take it. Clayton will have the darts in set 2. And set 2 is coming your way on talkSPORT 2 after this. Thanks, Will. From stage left right here, we're at the same level as the stage. I can see 4 Welsh people on the stage, and poor old Charlie Gardner, the right-hand marker, blonde-haired, dressed in all black with spectacles. He's the only English player on the stage, because you've got Price, the Welsh number 2, you've got Clayton, the Welsh number 1, you've got leading referee Hugh Ware from Cardiff, and you've got Andrew Davies as well on the left-hand side as the marker. It's almost all Welsh, and the scoreline for Price, Mr. Mason, is very tidy.
It is tidy, and it was a tidy set, wasn't it? Very efficient. 3 from 7 on the doubles, 43%. 3 180s in the opening set, an average of 103.37. Got it done in 3 legs to 1, and it's Clayton who will have the darts in set 2. And I know it's early, Nico, but he has to try and stem this early surge, and he's going to do that with visits like that one. His 3rd max. Oh, hello. Well, they do this practice game. Well, they do multiple different practice games, and it's almost like they're going through that little routine they do prior to a TV match. I don't know. I don't have the insight to know if they practiced together before tonight. It wouldn't surprise me. They're really close.
I think Price has spent a bit of time in practice rooms with James Wade, not necessarily at each other's homes or neutral venues, but when they go to tournaments they tend to.
Interesting that, because that's a dynamic I wouldn't put together.
Got to find what works.
Yep.
And Clayton is one of the friendliest players away from the hockey, but he's so hard to beat. He's got 81 after 9 here, has the ferret. Looking at treble 19, gets a single. So 62 left. That treble 12 leaves 26. And that leaves nothing after 12. As Clayton gets an ideal start to set 2. And just like that, we're into leg number 2. There's a lovely rhythm about this game. And another max.
They love each other's pace, hence why they spend so much time practicing together. This is special, really special. Clayton averaging over 100, Price averaging nearly 110. He's up in the territory of Callum Rydz.
But he's only getting 4 perfect darts.
5.
5 out of 6 ain't bad. Not according to the crowd, though. They want 6 perfect darts and then another 3.
Yeah, if I was Pricey, I'd do a Ronnie O'Sullivan when he nearly didn't knock the 147 in because there was no money.
Yeah, leave 141, then leave 24, then hit a big 4 to leave double 10.
Correct.
That would go viral.
Yeah, now booming.
Now 134 for Price.
96.
With Clayton all the way back on 260. So treble 18 start. Doesn't have to go tops. That's why he went for the 60. Just short.
Yeah,
And
good ball management. That shows he's in control of his emotions. If he was a little frustrated, he would have gone tops there.
140 from Clayton to leave 120. Price on tops. Hits it first dart. There's a lot happening in this game that is sharp. I'm not just talking about the 6 darts on the stage. Presumably they might have a few spares on the tables, but the doubling is brilliant from Price at 4 from 8. A little sketchy at this point from Clayton, but that is improving.
Yeah, and that was mainly from leg 3 of set 1 and leg 1.
There's been a lot made about changes in equipment in the last 10 years, but we're actually approaching the 10-year point where we first saw Gezi Price. It's actually a little bit longer than that. It was 2014 when we first saw him, but the darts of Price have barely changed at all in that time, and the same goes for Jonny Clayton. They've found something that works, and they've stuck with it throughout the last decade.
Yeah, Max Hott was nearly physically sick when he seen mine.
Great first start from Price.
Not for the first time.
I can't describe how good that third dart was. He scored 80 points and you think the 60's covered, and he manages to massage it through just like this from Jonny Clayton, who ends up getting 123 instead of 180. So it's 124 for Price at 1-1 in the second set. 60 hit. Gets a small 14 for the bullseye. That's inside! Clatters the wire, but on the right side of it. That's greeted with a fist pump from Jonny Clayton. It is now 2-1 to Price in the second set. 1 set to look to Price, who is looking as comfortable as he has all event.
But for probably a year or so, Nico.
I don't think that's too far to say that. In his previous 2 matches against Keane, Barry and Joe, we could talk about that for about 60 minutes. But he has said in post-match press conferences and with other outlets, he was trying very hard. It doesn't look like he's trying very hard in this game.
No, he's letting his natural ability just flow, and that's something we talk about. We talk about Callum Rydz and Michael Smith. Just flow. Don't try. Just rely on your senses and your ability. Comes downstairs, 2 treble 19s, down to 2-2-7. On throw, he leads by a set to 0, 2-1 up in this set. Clayton from 3-2-5, only 59. In control is Pricey.
Clayton average of almost 97. He hasn't averaged within 4 points of that in this tournament, and he is being dismantled by a Price performance that we haven't seen for months, if not the thick end of about 9 to 10 months. 87 after 12. This is to win the set. He's got a small 17, doesn't get the treble 10. He's got the comfort of doing that because Clayton's back on 224. So it will be tops for the number 10 seed to extend his lead to 2-0.
Yeah, 2-2-4 Clayton. Single 20, low. Oh, just clips top wire. Only 60, no pressure. Expect Pricey to slot this one away.
First dart high on the tops. Second dart slotted just like that. Chris Mason, I think we all did. That is a really good set from Price. Averaged 111 in it. His doubles accumulatively are at 6 from 11 for 55%. You fear the worst for the third at this point. He's been very competitive in the first 2 sets of his previous matches, but now he's got to fight back, and if he doesn't, Price might be the first person into the quarterfinals. So we'll take a break now, and on talkSPORT 2 next, we'll have sets 3 and 4, which could be the last sets of the match. Thanks, dude.
Pete, what are you going to do now between the next game? Obviously, Christmas is coming up. What does it look like for you?
What's it look like? I've got to put a 21, 22 foot, 23 foot Christmas tree up, and then by myself, and then cook for 13 people.
You cooking? You cooking?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
What's on Christmas dinner? Tell us what's on the. What you doing? What veg? We've been talking about Christmas dinner. What veg to go for?
What veg? We have all the veg. The Brussels sprouts with bacon in butter and I think with a bit of maple syrup. And then we're going to go for
do you have red cabbage?
Flour. I've done the red cabbage already. I've already done that with cinnamon and stuff like that. I've already got that.
Pigs in blankets?
Yeah, we'll do that. But
love a pig in a blanket.
Not little tiny ones. We do like actually chipolatas.
Oh, you do the big dogs?
The big ones.
Do you? They're not pigs in blankets, then, are they?
What about the old Yorkshire pudding, Pete? You put a Yorkshire pudding, is that allowed?
Oh, the secret of Yorkshire pudding mix is you got to put 8 eggs in a mug, right? And then you got to put a whole jug of milk, not whole jug, same cup that you use for the 8 eggs, milk. And then the flour, plain flour. Yeah. A little dash of salt, and you'll have the best Yorkshire puddings, as long as it's like bang, high heat. Amazing.
Right. And when you wake up in the morning, do you stuff the bird?
The bird's already stuffed from the night before.
Oh, the night before.
Yeah, you've got to give the bird a good stuffing.
In the morning, first thing you're doing
you
wake up and then
stuff the bird and sort the pigs in blankets out.
Yeah, what do you call an angry chicken?
Go on.
What does an angry chicken say?
Go on.
I can't say it. I can't say
it. Be careful, Pete.
Be careful, Pete.
Be careful, mate.
Don't get you in trouble, Pete. Listen, Pete, it's nice to speak to you, mate. Good luck.
Merry Christmas, Pete.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, Merry Christmas, guys.
Cheers, bud.
I think you wanted to just talk to us about Christmas food.
I tell you what,
didn't want to talk to us about darts, mate.
I can tell the darts have brought his mind, mate.
Darts was like, can't be bothered. Let's talk about some vegetables.
And he is commanding respect in this one, keeping the crowd silent, and all of the facets of the Iceman game, the treble 20, the double top, a lack of secondary doubles even being seen is a sign that he's playing really well.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. 103.37 the average in set 1. Set 2 started with a 180 and a 12-dart hold from Clayton, taking out the 81. Then it was all about pricing. 13-12 with a beautiful 1-2-4 checkout on the ball. He averaged 111.06 in set 2, and he looks super confident, super comfortable, not stressed at all, and looks like he could do this for an hour. He may not need to. It could be over in 20 minutes.
97.
Well, here's a bit of a sign. If Gezi Price averages 100 in a World Championship match, he doesn't lose.
94.
And this is well above 100. His personal best is 104.2 when he beat John Henderson, the current World Seniors champion. That was in the 2020 Championship, which was won by Peter Wright.
So he's on course for a World Championship PB in terms of averages.
Indeed. But I think he would say,
100,
regardless of that personal best, his best performance is in the final in 2021, which he averaged just over 100 in.
Absolutely.
2 treble 18s for Price after a single 19 to start, and that creatively gets him to tops from 167.
Yeah, that was super creative as well. Clayton with a 140 down to 72. The likelihood he's not going to get a go. One over the top. Oh, double 10. Well, that's been an element in his game that has caused him drama, and it's not been here so far in this match.
72 for Clayton. This is a chance. 2 16s found for tops for himself. Are we about to see the tide turn, I wonder, because as soon as we start talking about the fact that Price is not needing to break doubles down, he then does it, and the ferret comes in and says, I'll take that, thank you very much.
Yeah, lovely little 15 dart break. After Pricey left tops after 12. Over the top, big 20, nowhere near double 10. It's how he deals with that, because he's been allowing misses at doubles to affect him. He's been carrying them over into the next leg and possibly the one after if he doesn't win directly the next leg after making a mistake, and that was a mistake.
Yes, it was. Players of this caliber in this tournament where the doubling percentage is actually above 40%. If you're having 3 darts at a double and you aren't taking it, you're behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, and you're going to get found out. Perfect example 100. Was leg 1 of set 3. He missed doubles. Clayton's there ready to pounce, and did. 2 sets to nil to Price, 1 leg to Clayton in set 3. 2-4-2 Clayton about to throw. Pricey back on 3-0-2, and we're seeing an example of how those missed 3 darts at double has affected Gerwyn in this next leg.
Exactly my thought. It's had somewhat of a feeding effect on leg 2.
93.
In set play, you can't allow that to happen because it's all about short bursts. 1-2-1 for Clayton. Bit of a specialty of his usually when he's playing well. He's going to go for the bull on it. There you go. Who ordered a 1-2-1? Order up. Order up. Oh, it's yours, Johnny. You can have it. It's 2-0. Set 3. Brilliant.
Back-to-back 15 darters, and is all this stemmed? And what will be going on in Price's mind? If I'd have hit that double top in leg 1, this wouldn't be happening. And he's got to eradicate that from his thoughts.
100.
It should be so inconsequential that you don't even remember it at the end of the set. You can't affect the past, but you can affect the future. Not my words.
100.
But wise ones.
3-0-4 for Price. Got to get back on the horse, because he could lose this set by 3 legs to nil, and they will play sets 3 and 4 before the last break in this last 16 contest. And speaking of the last 16, this is the start of that stage of the tournament on almost the last day of the year. We've still got 2 more before we go into 2025. And
almost the last darting day of the year.
We won't have any darts on New Year's Eve. We have got a double session tomorrow. 2 sessions to start from 12:30 on talkSPORT. Miss it. But Jonny Clayton has made the last 16 the last 3 years. So that makes it 4 in a row for him. And that's not easy to do. He'd never made the last 16 until 4 years ago. Now it's becoming the norm, but he's only made the quarters once. This is the next stumbling block. Price on 164. Single 19, followed by a 20. And a bullseye at the end to make the next shot a little bit easier if he gets one.
He's been mustered on the ball so far. There's the treble 20, treble 19, gets it. Double 12 for the set.
Classic Clayton. Wins the set by 3 legs to nil. Chucks in 2 ton plus finishes. And they weren't small ones either. 1-2-1 on the bull, followed by 1-4-1 on double 12. It's just a shame it wasn't for a 9-darter, but he won't mind at all because Clayton is off and running.
Yeah, it was a real down set for Pricey from what we've seen so far. Average just 86 in that 3rd set, but maybe he just took a set off. Well, he couldn't do a lot about it. It was a 15-dart breaker throw after he missed 3 at tops. Then Clayton steps in and goes 1-2-1 check out for a 15, and then tops it off with a 1-4-1 check out and a 15-dart breaker throw.
I've been in that position myself in this format where you're 2 sets to nil down, and then you get the 3rd set. My PST, or positive self-talk, was, well, you didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?
I just hope it is.
140.
There's no such thing as hope. Hope kills you. Be positive. It's not I hope, it's I will. And Price with a 140 does get to 242, but Clayton's already a dart ahead on 185.
Single 20. Single, so they're both on the top wire. Doesn't 59. Find the treble 19 on cover, so down to 126. So Price has got to just stay in touch here. Single 20, single 19.
57. Jonny
the scoring has been lost for the last 6 or 7 minutes for Gerwyn Price. 126 for Clayton. Only gets 2 small 20s, but with the first one just above that 57, it was really hard to hit. He looks at the treble 16 now and gets that to leave tops.
Nothing Pricey can do on 185 apart from apply pressure and hope, and he's not doing either. 42. That's just 42. His numbers have just fallen off a cliff, Nico.
Absolutely right. Tops for Clayton, and his doubles in the last couple of sets, they have been pinpoint. He's just not missing the outer ring at the minute, and the bullseye.
And it's having an adverse effect on Gezi Price, and this stems, Nico, from leg one of set 3. I'm convinced, and that's a weakness that Pricey never used to have.
140.
This is stemmed from blowing doubles, as he calls it.
Oh, don't say that around here. You might get yourself in trouble. I'm forever blowing doubles. That's for a different part of London.
That'd be the FA Cup and the
yeah, that's more of a West Ham rhyme, but they don't want to blow anything by the end of the Premier League. 2 treble 20s for Price. Looking for a third after a bit of a reset there. Doesn't quite work, but it does get sub 200 before Jonny. Price on 197. Clayton on 278. Should be sub 200 now. Easily. Leaves 138.
Yep. Leaves Pricey on 197. Minus these are 1 a 20. Oh dear, Gezi.
Jonny require 150.
Pricey's leg.
What has happened? Clayton on 138 goes for 19s and gets a small 7, but the recovery's good. Treble 19 has to ask his countryman Hugh Ware for a bit of an idea. Then he goes to treble 18. That leaves him on double 10. 161 for Price, 57 hit, needs a galvanizer, doesn't get treble 18, goes next door into treble 1. So he's left on 101. Single 92. So Clayton for another leg on double 10. When was the last time he missed a double? It's 2-0 Clayton in set 4. After the break, Jonny is starting to get into this match, and he is now the only player on the stage who is playing efficient stuff.
Yeah, his finishing has now gone up to 58%. He's averaging 97.09. Pricey, his average is, well, tumbled down to 97.
After set 2, he was averaging 107 exactly. So since then, it's come down by 10 points. And it's not necessarily about missed doubles, because he's barely had any shots in the last couple of sets.
He's not. He's not.
140.
We have to go back to leg 1 of set 3. And we're now into leg 3.
I get the feeling you're going to be referencing leg 1 of set 3 quite a lot tonight if this continues. Something's got to change for Price.
140.
No lack of 140s. He's had 12 to Jonny's 9. Is it Price's turn to hit a 1-2-1? He might get it a different way. He's going to have to hit it. 113 left by Clayton. Small 20 for Price. Needs a 51. Doesn't get it. So Clayton has 113 left to win set 4. I do beg your pardon. To be 2 sets all. Single 19. Treble 18. Tops. Set dart. First double he's missed in a while.
It certainly is. He has been super efficient. Double 12. Gary Anderson's favourite double.
Pure frustration from GP. Yeah. He hasn't won a leg in a while. That stops the rot. It's only 2-1 down in set number 4. But when you're that frustrated after a period of about 10 minutes, I don't mind him doing that. I don't think anybody should, because when you bubble up that frustration, you've got to let it go somewhere.
Well, yeah, because it'll eat. Well, it's only 43. That's even more frustration for GP, the doctor of darts. Eh? Probably feels like he needed one after the last couple of sets.
We're not actually that far from the Royal Society of GPs. It's just down the way towards King's Cross.
It is.
Well, the thing is, if you're a footballer, rugby player, playing the NFL, boxer, you have outlets for frustration, running after a ball, punching a person.
Use aggression.
In this sport, you've got to bubble it up, and you've got to get it out somehow. He's been criticised for having these celebrations and these ventings. It's not a weakness.
177.
Well,
a whole heap better. He's down to 186. Clayton, albeit against the throw, so he won't be quite panicking yet. After that 125 on 227, 186, single 20. Needs a treble, doesn't get one. Where is he looking now? Oh, he's gone for the 51 and just straight into treble 2. So close. Still wants 141.
Which has been hit in this game by Jonny Clayton to win the previous set.
I'm fascinated outside of a 9. Oh, he still goes the same way, whether it's 9 darter or not.
57 leaves 84. Now he's decided not to go for the 84. That is brilliant board management from Gerwyn Price. 25 and 19 leaves tops instead of chasing the big out. He's backing himself on tops with 3.
100. Gerwen, you require 40.
This was the double that started the downfall. He's clipped double 10. Oh, Gezi.
Oh no, it was all getting encouraging for Price. And Clayton is in to swoop on 82 to win set 4. 25-17 in tops. He's clipped the wrong side at the top.
Well, I'm sure you can hear that, however you're listening. Gezi on the wire, a double 5. Is that friend? No, it's gone further away. It deflected further away. We're now getting into Joe Cullen territory, aren't we?
Jonny required 40.
Double top for Clayton for 2 sets all. Now it's double 10 for JC. And it's the second JC in a row that Gezi Price is playing. And it could well be another battle to the finish in a 7-set match. Clayton has won both sets after the set 2 break, and we are locked at 2 sets all in this all-Welsh last 16 clash at Ali Pali. The climax is coming your way after this break on talkSPORT 2. Thanks, man.
Show, right, Pete?
How we doing?
Go on, Pete.
Yeah, really appreciate you coming on, Pete. Obviously, it's massive, this tournament. Love it every year. Comes around. You've played tonight. How did you rate your performance?
What do you think the performance was? It was terrible, but, you know, I got away with it. You know, I'm disappointed for my fans and I think the way I played. But, you know, at least I'm through, you know, until after Christmas now.
Pete, I can tell how disappointed you are in your performance, and sometimes it's about getting the job done, which you've done. What was the part of your game that you feel let you down the most?
All of it.
Right.
I didn't hit trebles, I didn't hit doubles. What do you think?
I saw you a couple of 180s though.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, just struggled. I don't know why. The practice was going fantastic for the past week. You know, I felt actually better than I did when I won the Worlds for the first time ever. That's where my mindset was, and it's weird. I can't explain it. But, you know, at least I'm improved, and I can only improve now and get it right for the next round.
Pete, got to ask you, obviously the Ali Pali crowd, everyone's been talking about the last 24 hours. The atmosphere has been electric. How good is it to be a part of that?
It's totally fantastic. You know, it was them. You know, I had an interview earlier with Abby on stage, and it was them guys who got me through. You know, they're fed up with seeing me playing rubbish, and you know, they all got behind me, and so you know, it's, you know, you don't want to let them down, and you don't want to let yourself down. So, you know, they're fantastic, and they all come out here, enjoy themselves, fancy dress, you know, and yeah, it's great for darts.
Sounds like she's being stalked by someone with a knife and a screen
racing analysis and big name interviews.
If I'd gone 1.5 tenths slower, I would have been P10 on the grid. So it's so tight.
talkSPORT 2 rounds up the biggest stories and the latest racing rumors.
Championship points are more vital than ever.
On track, Tuesday afternoon from 2 on talkSPORT 2.
On DAB+, online, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker.
Exclusive coverage of the 2025 PDC Darts World Championship.
Live on talkSPORT 2.
Welcome back. This one isn't disappointing. It's 2 sets all between the 2 World Cup partners for Wales. One adorned in black and red, the other in blue, white and black. The Welsh number 2, Gezi Price, took a 2-0 lead, but it's now 2-all, thanks to some ferreting by Jonny. The averages are both mid-90s now. Everything seems to be levelling off. The doubles for Price didn't cooperate in the last 2 sets, but now Clayton is 50% doing what he does best, picking off shots. What happens next? Well, we can tell you that we don't have any more breaks before the end of this one. It's just a question of how deep we go.
Yeah, and it's an absolute capitulation from Pricey, who after 2 sets was averaging exactly 107. Over the course of the next 2 sets, he's averaged 86 in set 3, 81 in set 4. So he's managed to take off
59.
What, 24 points off his average across 2 sets. Hence why it's now 2 sets apiece, and he has to regroup, and he has to go again, reset, and treat this now as a best of 5 set match.
59.
Sorry, a best of 3 set match.
Indeed. And this is where head-to-head records and other likelihoods go out the window. This is a game where 2 players are in at the crease. They know exactly how they feel. You just have to keep moving forward.
It's in the moment, isn't it? It's very much today. Everything that's, like you say, that's happened can't be changed. The only thing you can change is the future, and that's all Gezi's got to think about. But already his throw's under pressure. He's on 194 from 201. Clayton treble 20,
99.
single 20, 19, down to a finish of 102.
Should have used the bullseye in the last start, but how many times have we said that, Jonny? He just doesn't subscribe to using the bull to leave a finish. Price does. He's just hit it to leave 64.
He likes using the ball to finish on.
Doesn't get the treble 14 on the 102 there, Clayton. So he is sitting on 48 with Price on 64 to hold. Went for treble 8 and hits the single. Single 16 is good. A quick lick of the fingers. One of his things he does for grip. Tops. That'll make him feel better. A better set start as Price is looking to regain the lead. Now, I've noticed something about Price the last few. He keeps fiddling with his right ear. I just wonder if he's just got a little bit of discomfort in that part of his body.
Yeah, well, he's coming from the rugby. They tend to suffer with cartilage issues, don't they? That very much like the UFC boys, because there's a lot of head knocking that goes on in rugby and UFC, of course. And you could be right. I may have a bit of an ear infection, or it's an old injury that is just giving him a bit of discomfort. Maybe it's a nervous thing.
Just these little things you've got to look after over the course of a life, a career. Even when you're traveling a lot, as these dart players do, you can get a lot of ear popping on planes and things like that.
A lot of discomfort, especially if you've ever suffered a perforated eardrum, which I would have thought over time he would have picked up a few.
240 Clayton. It's coming down nicely. He's 1-0 down in set 5. Just a ton after a 60 start though. Price 2. He gets a 20 either side of the 60 there.
59.
And only comes up with a disappointing 59. And I'm not calling it disappointing. His facial expression said it was disappointing. 140 for Clayton for the shot. First start in the 60, but the treble 1 scuppered that. Price on 143. He's got his 60. Treble 17.
He needs something like that, doesn't he? Just to kickstart the reboot.
Number 7 seeds, Jonny Clayton on 58 checkout. Too high on the tops, but somehow He's not even supposed to hit that part of the bed with that dart, but he doesn't care. He hits 58 and 3 darts. He doesn't even know how his darts behave, but he still makes it work.
Yeah, he sees it and throws it.
Uncomplicated brilliance.
Yeah, simple darts. It's a tough enough game anyway.
Yeah, throwing a long point, Jonny Clayton, with rings at the top for grip. It's a torpedo-style dart with cylindrical rings all the way from top to bottom, but a tapering towards the point. He's using a very synchronized stem of black and red, just like his flights, which are a kite shape. And of course, I've already mentioned that his shirt is black and red, so everything's coordinated. Whereas Price, he's got white and blue everywhere. It was almost all red, that one. Has to settle for a 140 to leave 145.
He wanted it all red, but in control of the leg. A set he has to win for me. 140 from Clayton, down to 260. Pricey, 145 after 9. 60's found. 45 isn't. 75 left. Treble 17 he gets. Beautiful shot. 24 after 12.
How many sets are we going to have in this match?
T-shirt. 24 after 12.
Are we going to get 6 sets or 7? Double 12 for Price.
Nothing would surprise me.
He's got 1 dart left to double 12. And he, categorically, that was the ideal example of someone hitting the outside of the bed and then just inching towards it incrementally. Perfectly measured there by Price for a 2-1 lead in the 5th set.
Treble 20's found. He's trying to back the Clayton 140 up with one of his own, and it's better. It's a max. He leads 2-1 in set 5. It's 2 sets apiece. 3-6-1 Clayton, 2 singles. Only a 60, 3-01. A chance here for Price to get this set wrapped up. He's in there again.
Oh, it's only 5 perfect darts. He gets the boos, of course, but they're the boos he doesn't mind because they're just in jest. He wanted a 9-darter. Price just wants to win the set, and he might do in the next 6 darts. 196 will get him there. Is he going to get a ton or a 140? He gets the ton, so 96 when he comes back to win set 5 by 3 legs to 1.
How much pressure can Clayton put on from 216? Not much with a single 1. Recovers beautifully. Oh, lovely. Not sure why he's done that, but he's left 98 anyway. 96 Price.
60 hit, double 18 for the set. To win his first sets in set 2. Just leads. Dart 3 has joined it. Wired it twice. Clayton on 98. Watch out. This is his kind of shot, isn't it? Treble 20, double 19. And he splits it.
If you tried doing what Pricey did there on that 96 and put 1 on the wire and then put 1 next to it and try it to not go in, it'd be impossible.
He has it, double 18 though, and he puffs his cheeks out as if to say, I'm relieved to be getting 3 sets before Jonny Clayton is. It's 3-2. This all-Welsh battle, it's now one of those mid-90s average matches with very good doubles. Very similar, in fact, to the first game of the night. The Welsh are guaranteed to have 2 players winning here. Robert Owen was just going through to the round that these guys are already in. This is for the honour of being the first quarter-finalist. And that is New Year's Day, a 2-day break.
Yeah, that's massive. We've already discussed the issues with Robert Owen playing tonight and now playing tomorrow afternoon. That's a real quick turnaround. And he got put through the ringer against Ricky Evans. Let's have it right.
59.
Yeah, he's had a bit more emotional baggage than most over the last few days. These guys, they don't think about tour cards. They don't necessarily think about the money. It's about progression, about opportunity.
It's about trophies. It's about history.
Jonny wants to get his hands on a trophy that Gezi has already lifted in one of the most iconic years for darts, where we had no fans, but one of the most iconic pictures of Gezi under the light, just about to lift the trophy. It looked almost celestial.
Yeah, and especially that final when he to almost sort of have a talk to himself Treble 20's found on 150. Went for the 54 for 36. Doesn't get the 48, but has left 56 unless... Oh, he can't do it, single 20. So it's 3 sets to 2 to Price. 16 and tops will put him 2 legs away from a place in the quarters.
Double top, got 2 in hand. Gonna need the second one for double 10. And he pushes the wire again. It's unbelievable how many times he's pushed wires in the last...
Well, about 10 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes against Joe Cullen is exactly the same. 76 left for Jonny. Ends up leaving top. So another bite of the cherry for Pricey.
10s it is. Outside, but not in the way. Has a reset. Back and goes again. Brilliant plan. 1-0 Price in set 6. He is now 2 legs away. When he played Gabriel Clemens a couple of years ago, Gerwyn Price, that was the infamous ear defenders game. So he's defending 50,000 points, just like Jonny Clayton is. Yep. So if Price wins this match and Clayton does not, there is a chance that Price could be the Welsh #1 again by the end of the tournament.
Yeah. Clayton starts with 135. Price only a 60. Backs it up only with a 60. Remember, so he's got the break, and now he's offered up the break back.
In order for Price to be the Welsh #1 again, he has to make the semi-finals. That would get him to around about 5th in the world, and Jonny would stay at 6. Look at that from Price, though. A 177. Great timing to leave 204.
Where does that put Chizzy?
Chisnell 6th or 7th.
Wow. 222 Clayton, 204 Price. Single 20, treble 20. Needs another. Oh, and a real stray dart into the 5. Left himself on 119.
This is a weird set.
It's nervy. It's edgy.
It is. That 125 from Clayton. 2 treble 20s followed by a bad deflection into the big 5 to leave 97. Price 119. There's the 19. He needs 100 more. And that small 20 doesn't do him any favours. So Clayton will come back with Price lambasting himself for leaving 65. Big 19 for Jonny. Looking at double 19. Nothing seems to be working at the minute. And Price could be within 501 points of the next round if he hits tops. He's just hit the semi-bull. Tops. He eyes it up. He hits it immediately. This has been a game of 2-set bursts. Price gets the first 2 sets, Clayton gets the next 2, and if Price wins this leg, he will win enough to get through to the quarters again.
Yes, it's a weird dynamic. Pricey now has a bit of insurance. A great 140 start from Clayton on throw. Key leg for me for Pricey. If he doesn't get it done here, will be the next leg, because listen, against Joe Cullen, when we got in that real bones of it, for the most part, Gerwyn Price was rocking and rolling.
41. His ability to finish the job, things that has made him a multiple-time major champion. Clayton is struggling. He believes that this is a really big mountain to climb. He's got great skills of fighting back, but is this too much for him? He's got to win the next 3 legs. This is a good start, though. 81 after 9. He's hit a treble 15 with 62 left with 2 darts, so 17 left.
Yeah, 1 will leave double 8, which he's done. Gerwyn Price back on 305, but it's sets to Price.
Why do I get the feeling, Mace, that Price here, he looks very relaxed in this 3rd leg. He is banking on winning the next leg.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
Double 8 for Jonny Clayton. 3rd leg of set 6. Misses it both sides. A double 4. The comeback starts here, but he must break Price now, otherwise he will lose. This is the leg that Price is backing himself to win to get through to a 5th quarter-final at the Palace. It would be against Dutz.
Yeah, and it's only 60. Can Clayton pounce? Price leads 3-2 and 2-1. And he started with 60 and Clayton couldn't punish. Now he's in the red bit and follows. Is there room for another?
121. Not quite. In trying to power it through, he pushed it right.
Yeah, he tried to smash it into the other two. Hopefully it held. 83 takes Clayton down to 359. 320 price, single 20, single 19.
Oh, it's a great last start. Great last start in the treble 18.
He's falling over the line here, Nico.
Or is he? Clayton isn't finished. 2 treble 20s and a treble 19. He's back in the leg with that one. It's only 182, but Price comes back. 2 treble 20s to max it. Not quite, but it will be 87 to win this match. And 10th out of 11 meetings with Jonny Clayton in the last 2.5 years. He's owned the ferret for the last 2.5 years, but this is huge. He's got a big 2 on 87. He hasn't got any of these hit trebles. All he can do is lead tops and hope that Clayton does not clean up 82.
Ball doesn't get it. 11 leaves 71. Treble 13 for double 16. So Pricey, 3 darts in hand to wrap this one up. 4-2.
This is where the crowd will try and put him off. He must ignore it to win. Double top for Price. Second dart gets him through to the quarterfinals, and there is no celebration whatsoever from the Iceman. 100% respect for his World Cup teammates, but only one could prevail, and tonight was the night of the Iceman. He's all smiles, and the valiant effort in this championship of Jonny Clayton yielded a 4th consecutive last 16, but it's not a second quarter-final for the man from Pontyberem. Price wins by 4-2. It was a fascinating contest to look into before it started, but the frustration of Price so well in those 6 sets. It was a flight to the crowd, and he did it like Jeff Capes was doing a discus.
Yeah, I think that ought to be in the bottom of Muswell Hill. He threw it that hard. Yeah, listen, early stages of that, he was irresistible. It was like the old Price was back, and then just a moment in set 3 where he missed 3 darts double, which allowed Jonny Clayton to step in to break throw, and then the wheels come off, and so it's not a fundamental or a physical thing, it's a psychological. It comes from the battering he's taken in where he's felt like he's been in matches and hasn't been able to put them away, but ultimately Wright man won. It didn't turn out to be the thriller he expected, but while it was in play, it was enthralling.
Hitting that tops at the end for relief. Yeah, well, he had felt after that one.
And that's all it is, because how many games has he lost like this over the last 12, 18 months? And, you know, how many times has he put himself in positions where he's looking like he's going to win, and like he says, he blows a couple of doubles, misses one here, not missing them by miles, they're just not going in for him, and that's when you're a bit unfortunate. It's not bad luck, you're just a bit unfortunate.
Last thing before we leave it to yourself and Mark Wilson, the main course of the night, the Mind Games match between Humphries and Peter Wright, the 2-time champion. How much of a when you've had a game put you through the ringer like the Cullen match, and then obviously takes care of Jonny Clayton by 4-2, how big is it that he's now got the next 2 days off to make sure he's fresh for a possible 3-day push for a second World Championship?
Yes, physically, I think for him it's mentally just to have won a game that probably felt like it may be slipping away, and just the relief, and he will come back stronger. I mean, I've got him written down, I think we both had him written down to be playing Dobie. He'll have to play like he did in the first 2 sets, because the last 3 sets, the last 3 sets of that, he ain't getting anywhere near Dobie right now. Not for me.
Well, stay where you are, Mace, because we've got a rather interesting battle tonight between champions. The defending champion will take on Peter Wright, the champion in 2020 and 2022. Will 2025 be his year? But in order to get it, he's got to go through the champ from January the 3rd, 2024. The number 1 in the world is next against the 17th seed Snakebite. You do not want to miss that next on talkSPORT 2. It will be Mark Wilson and Chris Mason calling that for you. From me, it's good night, but don't go anywhere. The main course is coming up.